I'd like you to meet Mark Carthew, author, teacher, poet, musician. He's about to be grilled by the kids. Go for it, kids.
So, Mark, how'd you come to start writing books?
I started writing school musicals, really, many years ago. I'm a teacher as well as a writer, and this little draggy here came from one of the first musicals I wrote called The Dragon Returns, which is this one here, and it had songs. So I started writing songs, really, and there's a bit of a logical connection between writing songs, poetry, and then over time that's morphed into children's books. And yeah, that's really how I started.
So what age group do you write for?
I write for primary age group, but more and more that's actually going down towards kindergarten, early childhood, right up to upper primary and even lower secondary. So I write fairly broadly, but within that primary age group. The one you've got in your hand there, Can You Keep a Secret? You could hold that up, Tara, is more for the younger age group. But in a sense, it's also of great interest to adults as well, because those traditional rhymes, I love writing poetry and love writing, collecting. I'm a book collector. So over the years, my grandfather used to collect old books, and that's something that I've grown to love. But that collection process is called making an anthology. And so I'm often called an anthologist, which is a collector of old stories and rhymes. And I've got quite a few books that bring that back in with pictures as well, which is great.
And where do you get your illustrators from?
Good question. I suppose that it's like being in a footy side or somewhere else. You hang around an industry, you get to know other authors and illustrators, and I was fortunate. I had a break from teaching for a year, and part of the Teacher Release to Industry program where I worked with a big company, big literacy series for schools, and in that lots of illustrators are involved in those types of things, and you meet people, for instance in this book which was called Open Shut Them, an anthology of finger plays and action rhymes. One of the illustrators was Minnie Goss. And I always knew that one day, if I wrote a story like Five Little Owls here, which you've got the puppets for, which is all about these creatures that go into the forest to hide, and there's owls and bats and frogs. I wanted an illustrator that was good at creatures, and you would agree here. She's fantastic. And when I showed Minnie Goss the manuscript, she said, "Oh, I love that, Mark." And she started doing illustrations straight away, and then she'd virtually finished the book before we approached the publisher. She had such fun, and that's a picture of Minnie's there, which she kindly did for me. And you meet other people like Susie Boyer did the front cover of this, and when we were discussing which illustrator to do the gobbling tree behind me, Susie was a wonderful choice for that. And when you write funny things like Wicked Wizards and Leaping Lizards and my first book, Newts, Lutes and Bandicoots, I wanted a really cartoon-like, funny illustrator. And Mike Spohr, he lives in London. I've never met Mike. He's coming out this August, actually, to tour Australia, so I'm really looking forward to that. And Terry Denton, we all know Terry Denton, they're really good at funny things. So when you write something funny, you want an illustrator that can illustrate something funny. Does that make sense?
Mark, where do you get your ideas from?
On my website, I've put my head, full stop, because it's a question we get a lot, me trying to be funny. But yeah, look, you look at the little things around you, little things that happen. It's a question a lot of authors get asked as you go around, and sometimes it's not easy to answer that one, Taha. But sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, and I remember I did a wordplay actually in my funny one. I woke up and it was a play on which is which, and I wrote it down in the middle of the night. It just came to me like that, a silly little rhyme or a joke. And then other times you plan it out a little bit more. But the gobbling tree, of course, that's one where I was on yard duty one day at a school, Birmingham Primary School, where I used to teach. And this little boy came up to me and said, "Oh, Mr. C, I've got something caught in the tree." His footy was caught in the tree, actually. I went up and had a look and said, "Oh, I'll get it down, mate." So I went to a little boy next door. I said, "Michael, can I borrow your basketball?" I threw this basketball to knock the football out of the tree. And of course, what happened? It got stuck. All his mates were throwing things up to try and get this footy out of the tree. And a story came out of that. And that happened a lot when I used to play frisbee with my brother when we were little. So a story about a tree that actually wasn't nasty, just a bit fun. It's a bit of fun. All these things get caught up, and I won't tell you how it goes, but trying to get the ball back down out of the tree is a lot of fun.
Wow, Mark, that was great and really interesting. So how about you sing us a song?
That'd be a pleasure, Emily. This one comes from Canada. It comes from Can You Keep a Secret? It's called Skinnamarink Dinky Dink. Skinnamarink dinky dink, skinnamarink doo. I love you. Skinnamarink dinky dink, skinnamarink doo. I love you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. Love you in the evening underneath the moon. Skinnamarink dink, skinnamarink doo. I love you.